This week in Jamaica Now, I cried a million times. St. Elizabeth Fisherman rescued after drifting at sea for 7 days. Alleged Hanover gangster and his mother shot dead in home invasion. More than 30 spent shells found at the scene. Prime Minister lifts ban on sleeveless attire in public buildings. Jamaicans react.
Some of them appropriate, meanwhile some of them still don't appropriate. Because some of them they way up in on toe, some people put on the roll on. Some people put on the roll on nasty.
Cabinet changes coming. And Montague under scrutiny after issuing gun license to a man said to be of questionable character. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. 57-year-old St. Elizabeth fisherman Anthony Williams is counting his fortunes after being rescued at sea where he had been drifting towards Honduras for 7 days. Williams said he cried a million times as the turbulent weather hoisted his boat into the air several times, thirst parched his throat, and his stomach cried for food. The fisherman was rescued on Monday by a lobster boat owned by Rainforest Seafoods. Within 24 hours, the Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard collected him and brought him to the mainland for hospital treatment. Williams said by day 5 his feet had started to give way and all hope of being found had dissipated. God was in the boat with me, he said. The father of 7 had transported some divers from Middle Key to Ballard's Ring along with other boatmen. On his way back, his engine went down and he experienced difficulty. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he has been receiving updates on the controversy surrounding former National Security Minister Robert Montague. Montague had overturned the decision of the Firearm Licensing Authority Appeal Board and granted a gun permit to a man said to be of questionable character. Montague has defended the action, saying the man was a national security asset. Holness says while the law allows for ministerial discretion, this matter and 28 other cases must be investigated before he reaches a decision.
I have not said anything as yet to the Commissioner of Police, but as soon as I get my updated brief, which will include all the other cases, then after discussion with the Cabinet, we will take a decision.
And the Prime Minister says changes are coming to portfolio responsibilities in the Cabinet with the resignation of Dr. Andrew Wheatley.
The public is entitled to be anxious about this and to say what is happening, why it isn't moving faster. But rest assured, I am only going to move at what is the pace of what is right. So, I try to give myself quick timelines, but if things happen that require further scrutiny and inspection, then that is what I'm going to do.
In the meantime, Holness said he will retain the energy portfolio, which he assumed amid the controversy over the operations at the Petrojam oil refinery. Jamaicans are weighing in on the government's decision to now allow sleeveless attire in public buildings. But this does not apply to the Parliament because the standing orders bar sleeveless attire in Gordon House. And House Speaker Pernell Charles says he will continue to enforce the parliamentary guidelines. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says soon he will move to have the standing orders amended. In the meantime, on the streets of Kingston, there have been mixed reactions to the new sleeveless policy.
Some of them appropriate, meanwhile some of them still don't appropriate. Because some of them they way up in on toe, some people put on the roll on. Some people put on the roll on nasty. But just one touch and go, If I one touch and go, it could have worked still, Yeah, man, but you can't allow it, man. You can't allow some height. Not all height, but some height,
I don't agree with the sleeveless in government building. So, because Jamaicans, they give them an arm, they take a mile.
President of the Inter-American Development Bank, Luis Moreno, is urging Jamaicans to embrace the planned National Identification System, NIDS. The project has been facing some public backlash and a constitutional challenge with a motion brought by the opposition to be heard on October 22. The IDB has approved a loan of US $68 million for the project. 20% of the money will go towards the rollout of the NIDS over a 3-year period. A pilot project for civil servants is to get underway in January 2019. Uton Bigger Cockett, one of Western Jamaica's most feared gangsters, and his mother, Carleen Graver, were on Wednesday night shot dead at their home in Elgin Town, Hanover. The police say more than 30 spent shells were found at the scene. It is reported that they were at home about 9:30 p.m. when a gunman invaded the premises and opened fire, hitting them. They died on the spot. Cockett is the brother of Valdemar Wingy Chambers, who is believed to be the first leader of the One Voice gang. He was killed last September. Music fans on Thursday paid tribute to late singer, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. She died at the age of 76 years at her home in Detroit as a result of advanced pancreatic cancer. Aretha Franklin sang classics with matchless styles such as Think, I Say a Little Prayer, and her signature song, Respect. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, more reactions from the streets of Kingston following the announcement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to now allow sleeveless in public buildings.
Let the young lady them wear what they want to wear. Them look very nice going to work. But when them put on a little cover over with the liquor, you know, them look good.
It is not right to wear, you have your skin actually out the door. Neither the shorts. Your skin supposed to properly cover in any business at all what you are doing.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Can work still. But who want to wear the tall sleeve can wear it.
Rule is rule. You go in a government building or any building at all where you're going to do business, I think you should look appropriate. And appropriate is appropriate for everything.